So what is going on? Ewo Mexico. Do you think say near koso ewo Mexico? What can pie kwakubo? Osha ye bebo no ho. Anasi be change venue because ensem bebre epiem for Mexico as say there. Okọ no ma ayeskate bebia askata enya sem ketwa. Aha authentic plus studios making sure so be like we subscribe you na share amafofo so enya bi. Ahwe. Ezebusia Mexico country na kasa krampo no. It is alleged say a narco country be actually some of the drugs, any other things, and actually say or the attitude chrono. Nebusia recently newspaper trouble say Mexico military for carry out some operation be actually na the main motive the entire carry that operation was to go and arrest one powerful cartel be actually say about drugs anyone can be actually so dimu akotnepa. Now, sir, this powerful drug lord way, your fellow Nemesio Cervantes, aka El Mencho. Oh no, in fact, Oko Mexico, no ma, amount for Ejibon to say, what done a president? I just say, oh no, dear, or a popular, or no, my band drugs on.
Mexican forces have killed one of the world's most notorious drug lords, sparking violent chaos across Mexico. Nemesio Cervantes, known as El Mencho, was the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and was killed during a military operation to arrest him. His supporters have taken to the streets in retaliation, setting cars and petrol stations alight, building roadblocks and attacking security forces.
Now, and I just said during the operation, no, and I just said Fofian Tuata, just say Nenkofoni be a fire back to the military for no, and I just say Omuko Bonu too. Now, no, Fofian Tuata, and I just say Ofemu, Ewuye. And no, and I just say Papa in Nenkofonu and almost no. Semaku ye penny dia, any best kata country, no. I must say, I'm no Casay, Ukopium, Ewo Mexico, and Yasam Ketwa.
Mexico's most wanted man, the drug lord known as El Mencho, has been killed in a military operation with the help of U.S. intelligence. He was the leader of the feared Jalisco New Generation drug cartel, and the U.S. had previously offered a reward of $15 million, the information leading to his arrest. Well, the journalist Adam Hancock's following the story for us in Mexico City joins us now. Adam, talk to us about this operation against El Mencho and also how the U.S. has supported it.
Yeah, the operation took place on Sunday morning in the town of Tapalpa, which is in the central western state of Jalisco, and it was targeted to try and capture El Mencho, but it actually turned into somewhat of a gunfight between members of the cartel and the Mexican military. A number of cartel members were killed, 3 more were injured, including El Mencho. They were taken on a flight here to Mexico City, but they died from their injuries. And this man has been evading the authorities for a long time. He's a notorious drug cartel leader here in Mexico, leading one of the most feared drug cartels in the country. And we now know that the US intelligence was actually involved in the operation to capture him. It's been a while now that President Trump has been talking about the need for Mexico to do more to crack down on drug cartels. He's been very angry about drugs being exported across the border, including fentanyl. And we understand that the operation that took place on Sunday morning here in Mexico, the US were involved in that in terms of intelligence, but it was Mexican special forces who went in. They tried to capture him, but they ended up killing him during a gunfight between cartel members and the military.
You talk about that gunfight. Just talk to us as well about the violence that we've seen now more broadly across Mexico as a result.
Yeah, it's been quite astonishing, really, throughout the day how this has escalated across the country, not just in Jalisco state, where this all began, but in a number of other states, including very popular tourist destinations as well, where we've seen plumes of smoke rising across the city. Tourists have been told to stay in their hotels. The US Embassy here in Mexico, they've warned US citizens to shelter in place in a number of states. We've seen a barricade set up by cartel members blocking major highways, vehicles being set alight, shops being set alight, and just general violence across the country. And of course, whilst it's a big moment to take out one of the biggest cartel leaders, you do have to question what cost this comes at, because right now there's a real fear here in Mexico about this violence and whether or not it's going to spread, and also the impact that it's going to have on the tourism industry, and even the impact it's going to have on the World Cup, which is taking place in just a few months' time here.
And Mexico no stranger to violence this kind of type, but is this different this time around, do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I've been speaking to people here today in Mexico City who've been here for quite a while, and they said this is the first time in a long time that they remember the national security situation being as dicey as this. There have been flare-ups in the past when notable kingpins from these cartels are captured. For example, El Chapo, you might remember a few years ago. Often a void is left within the cartel, and there are battles and infighting between cartel members trying to take control and take over who was taken out. So it's not completely unusual. Mexicans are very used to cartel violence. It's a common part of life here. But I think this widespread violence that we've seen today, and particularly tourist areas being targeted.
Baby, I had a bonfire to say. Almost see properties. Baby, no, and I just a president. Or she chrono so I just say a friend. Her Excellency, Cloudy, Eddie send me better about the old team say in fact. Fighting against Anasibia outside the framework of the laws of Mexico. In fact, one yana admin say Uncle Bay is military force Anasibia enforcement at the equate this cartel. Name some 1 or 2 reasons being I was say or use enforcement.
¡Pura gente, Mencho! ¡Pura gente, señor 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 Mencho! ¡Puro grupo elite! ¡Pura gente, señor Mencho! ¡Puro grupo elite! ¡Pura gente, señor Mencho! ¡Pura gente, ¡pura el señor de los gallos! ¡Arriba, señor Mencho! ¡Arriba, señor Mencho! ¡Arriba, señor Mencho! ¡Arriba, señor Mencho! ¡Los gallos! ¡Pura grupo elite! ¡Pura grupo elite! ¡Pura gente, señor Mencho! ¡Grupo elite! ¡Y pura gente, señor Mencho! ¡Grupo elite!
In fact, on social media, baby, I'm on for a post videos of Mexico near Koso. I will honor. Now, no, and is crazy concern about and check the year to happen. A year World Cup here to say Airbus 2026. I just am on for ABC say. And in near Koso, I will Mexico. FIFA obetwe asan anase still omo de nhye be gu akwam se na ebe ya foreigners omo kwakwo pim wo onom no hwini wa ebe ya omo abusua obetimi leave comment or comment section that so what do you think about this story? Do you think say FIFA betwe asan anase still obeka say go ahead yenkobo honom edian ena chese besi aha authentic festival make sure so be like you be subscribe you and wa share ama fofo so nya bi ahwe